So proud to have him as a captain. Brilliant fella, giving great service to the county, never lets us down, and that's why the full back position today and his matchup with Kieran is so key for us. Yeah. We always have a feeling that David Heaney will do the right thing for Mayo, and you couldn't come across a finer fella, Michael.
Just in the moment, Kevin, as we were watching the Roscommon minors come out for the minor final against Kerry, of course you'll have an eye on this as well, because as a Mayo man, you're living in Roscommon.
Yeah, and I was talking during the week, you'd actually think the senior final was Roscommon and the minor final was Mayo if you drove on into Castlebar.
Of course.
Such was the excitement. Terrific performance by the Rossies to get this far. Underdogs in literally every match they played this year. And here they are, and I suppose very similar to Mayo. You know, not getting a huge support, but could happen, Michael. We just don't know.
Back again to what we were saying there in the little clip of the two players. Ronan McGarty, you know, obviously, well, of course, he's a neighbour's child.
Neighbour's child, yeah. And again, a guy that's not short on confidence. He's been playing particularly well. He's backed up that little bit of cockiness he had in 04, perhaps, with actual serious displays this year. One of the best players we have had, one of the best players in the country at midfield. Now, I think it's going to be Dara O'Shea that's going to be the matchup there. And that is going to be a terrific contest. There's no question. McGarty's a great bit of stuff. He's only a young guy, but he'll get stuck in. You heard him. He's just going to go for it. See how it pans out. That's not a bad attitude on an Ireland final day. Go for it.
Dara Canada, you know, people are looking for something to latch on to here to see how this game might go today. We'll have a look at the scoring list, the hot shots, if you like. And the thing about this is, when you look at it, it's dominated up at the top by a Mayo man, and you have to look down the list to see a Kerry man on that list. Brian Sheehan down in 8th place.
Yeah, and Brian would
a substitute.
Brian
Exactly,
would have done a lot of his kicking, I suppose, early on in the Munster Championship. 24 points there. He's a quality player, and free takers are always going to be up the top of the list anyway. Conor Mortimer likewise. I suppose worryingly from a Mayo point of view, Conor Mortimer has a huge percentage of their scores. The scoring spread isn't that great. Kerry do have a nicer scoring spread than Mayo, and what happens today if Conor Mortimer is kept quiet? Now, it's not more easily said than done, but if he is kept quiet, you know, 133, he's obviously going to be top scorer for the year, but you know, we'd be hoping, I suppose, as Kerry people will be hoping that he won't be adding too much to it today.
Sure, there's no doubt about that, and you know, Kevin, that is a question going into this thing. I mean, you look at the star players on both sides, the Gooch obviously from Kerry's point of view, Dara, but also Conor Mortimer. If he performs today, Mayo have a great chance, and vice versa.
And also added to that, Michael, is that I would say for the first time, certainly in my memory, playing or even watching Mayo down the years, I could argue strongly that Mayo have maybe three guys, what I would call All-Ireland standard forwards, Dylan, Kieran MacDonald and Conor, as we're talking about. They're three serious performers. So we don't normally come to Croke Park with three. We might have one or two, but that's something we'd be looking out for.
At the moment, Dara O'Canada, there are some lads here that might be serious performers for Kerry in a few years' time. This is the minor team. What kind of a minor team is this?
Yeah, expectation was very low at the start of the year of these guys. You know, they were said to be an average team. They were supposed to be beaten in most of their challenge matches that they had played. And the two teams being talked up at that stage were Meath and Donegal. Now it's Kerry and Roscommon. I suppose a lot of famous names in that team. You know, you have Sean Welch's son Tommy, and you have Ogie Moran's son David, and John Kennedy's son Owen as well. Three very, very good players in their own right, and they'll be wanting to create a bit of their own history today. And I'm sure they're sick of hearing all the talk of their fathers and what they have achieved. But it's a nice spread. They have a good half-back line. There's two lads from my own club there. They're good, solid guys, you know, and the Kerry people will be expecting a bit from them today.
Well, we're going to see how all that happens a little bit later on, but right now we have another break to take. Don't go too far away, because right after that we'll be hearing for...
Well, the September Road is nearing its conclusion, and you're very welcome to Croke Park on the biggest Sunday of all in the Gaelic football calendar. It's the ESB All-Ireland Minor Football Championship final between Kerry and Roscommon. Roscommon are bidding to win their first All-Ireland Minor title in 55 years, so this is a big day for manager Fergal O'Donnell and all his players. This is also the county's first appearance in the final since 1951, but the Connacht champions have been impressive this summer. Goalkeeper Mark Miley has yet to concede a goal in the championship, with team captain David Flynn at number 6 marshalling a well-drilled defence. David Keenan has had an outstanding campaign at midfield, while the same could be said of top scorer Donald Shine and wing forward Conor Devaney. Kerry may be the kingdom, but they haven't won an All-Ireland minor title in 12 years. They go into this match as favourites to end that barren run, buoyed up by an eye-catching semi-final win over Donegal. Manager John Kennedy feels his strongest side, led by captain and top scorer Paddy Curran at full forward. Keep an eye out too for the towering Tommy Walsh at midfield and David Moran, son of Ogie, at number 12. The Munster champions have scored 11 goals this summer, and can take the breath away if they click into gear. Well, the match referee is Sil Doyle from the Ballyhogue Club in County Wexford, making history here today, becoming the first Wexford official to referee an All-Ireland minor football final. So a big day for Sil Doyle and a big day too for the counties of Kerry and Roscommon. Roscommon, one of the few counties in Ireland with a 100% record in All-Ireland minor finals. They've played 3, they've won 3, the last of those back in 1951. Kerry, 11-time All-Ireland minor football champions. Well, they win possession right from the throw-in, and this is big Tommy Walsh, son of the Kerry County chairman Sean. Here's the manager's son, that's Owen Kennedy, early chance, and just drops out to the right and wide. Huge pedigree running right through this Kerry team, and they are the pre-match favourites. They really have caught the eye this summer as they ran up a total of 11 goals en route to this final, and their semi-final win over Donegal, by far and away their most impressive performance. Roscommon not just here to make up the numbers though, and Tommy Walsh again soaring into the clouds, the big Kerry midfielder. Roscommon trying to get players back behind the ball, trying to pressure the delivery, and once again it's that full forward line. It's trying to be fed quick and early, and this is the leader of the attack, Paddy Curran. The Kerry captain wins his free, fouled by the Roscommon fullback Mark McLaughlin. Beautiful day for a game of football here at Croke Park. Sunshine spraying all across the stadium, and I'm sure the nerves still jangling. It's All-Ireland final Sunday and a big day for everyone, as Paddy Curran just fixes it footwear. This is his 3rd year as the county minor. Well, that kick should have been well within the range of Paddy Curran, but he just snatched at it a little. And that's Kerry's 2nd wide. We haven't yet played 2 minutes. Here's the Kerry manager, John Kennedy, his 1st year in charge of the county minor squad. There's his Roscommon counterpart, Fergal O'Donnell, won a Connacht minor championship medal himself back in 1989. So Mark Miley, first touch for the Roscommon goalkeeper, and again Tommy Walsh, that's his 3rd clean take. He really is a huge man for a minor midfielder. Possession turned over though, and Roscommon can break. They don't score much, Roscommon, but they have a wonderful team ethic. And here's their centre half forward, James McCaig. Ran into trouble though, ran into traffic, and Kerry used the hand pass to clear their lines. Well cut out by Stephen Ormsby, the tidy corner back. Trying to spot a runner inside, but it's very congested in there. And the only man there is a Kerry man. Good defending by their full back, Michael Maloney. Kerry have men over, they have options, and soloing away is Dahi O'Shea. Dahi O'Shea hand passing it inside to the midfielder, that's Gary O'Driscoll, bottled up, and the referee, Sil Doyle, thinks that the Kerry man took too much out of that ball. Roscommon will have possession, Roscommon have the free. Donald Shine, their scorer-in-chief, trying to spot the run of David O'Gara, another man who has been scoring regularly. His kick blocked down, chance though, the rebound fell perfectly, and Roscommon are out in front. It was good, patient build-up from Roscommon. The initial shot coming in from David O'Gara, his kick blocked down, but the break falling into the path of Paul Garvey, and Roscommon lead after almost 4 minutes. Tomás Machancheer is the Kerry goalkeeper, plays his club football with Angailtucht. He'll be looking for Tommy Walsh surely. Up goes the big midfielder, break gathered by his partner Gary O'Driscoll. Again, that full forward line showing this is Owen Kennedy. Battling for possession with Peter Domican. Domican does well. Under a little pressure though. Kennedy went down bravely to win that ball back. Kerry always seem to have so much time on the ball. Daniel O'Shea spots the run. Back outside to Tommy Walsh. Trying to get room to swing that right boot. Being forced out wide though. Good defending by Roscommon. The shot coming in the end from Adrian Graney. And that was excellent defending from Roscommon. They got bodies behind the ball. And their supporters, 5,000 approximately, have made the journey up from the county of Roscommon for this game. They'll be pretty pleased with the start their team have made. Mark Miley again striking the kick out cleanly, and Tommy Walsh again rising. He's becoming a real problem for Roscommon. Spots the run inside. Huge hand pass. Man taking that pass in his stride was John Buckley, but he just kicked across the face of goal and out to the left and wide. Kerry have certainly started promisingly around the middle of the field, and John Kennedy will be heartened by the early form of Tommy Walsh in particular. Kerry have played 5 games to reach this stage of the competition, beating Tipperary, Limerick, Mayo and Donegal en route, and are here bidding to win the Tom Markham Cup for the first time in 12 years. Again, Tommy Walsh was in there battling, but picked up by David Keenan. First take for the Roscommon midfielder. Ball breaks for Donal Shine. Big strong man, the wing forward, and he's been tackled and fouled. No question about that. Tommy Walsh, I think, protesting that was an innocuous challenge. Well, looks like the referee, Sil Doyle, is going to show his first card of the day. And it's shown to Tommy Walsh from the Cairns O'Reilly's club in Tralee. And he will now have to be on his best behaviour from here to the finish. Donal Shine from Clonmel has come across to have a look at this free. It's well within his compass. He's a terrific kicker of a ball. He's had the distance, but not the accuracy. And you can just see that Roscommon are finding it hard to settle. Donal Shine was kicked a total of 13 points in the championship. Moss mock on cheer, switching in the direction of the kick out this time, and again Tommy Walsh climbing into the air, so strong when he landed, and holding off that tackle and winning his free. Walsh, big booming free into Paddy Curran. The full forward from Waterville wants to take on Mark McLaughlin, steps away from the tackle, chance for Curran. That's expertly done by Kerry's captain. He really is a pleasure to watch when he's in full flight. The delivery was inch perfect from Tommy Walsh, and Curran kicking clinically between the posts. Well, level pegging in the All-Ireland Minor final at Croke Park. This is the first meeting of the teams in the minor championship since 1975. Kerry won that day by 15 points, but most observers expecting this one to be a lot closer. This is James McCaig feeding it outside to Conor Devaney. Spots the run inside of the corner forward David O'Gara, but he was well closed down. Moss Mock-on-Cheer's pass, asking a lot of Dahi O'Shea, but he does well. And a couple of hand passes, and Kerry play themselves out of trouble. Well, in fact, loose hand pass that play themselves into trouble. This is Donal Shine with the snapshot, under pressure, kicking into the hill. He struck it well, but again it's tailed away from the face of goal and out to the left and wide. Well, it was a half chance for David O'Gara, but the defender Brian Russell made a nuisance of himself and took the sting out of the fist. Tommy Walsh again in there contesting. Such a towering midfielder. Ball into the centre again. Kerry's forward line looking lively. This is Gary Sayers. He's there in front of his man. Now David Moran, son of Ogie. He's going to try and feed that full forward line. Dropping in towards Paddy Curran. Kept his eye on it all the way. Spots the run inside. Here's a chance. Chance for the centre forward. And Daniel O'Shea fists it up and over the bar. Well, certainly it was a goal chance. Paddy Curran looked like he was going to take his own point. Spotted the run of O'Shea. And Kerry cut the Roscommon defence wide open. And a well-taken score. So all of a sudden, Roscommon find themselves behind. And it's largely due to the presence of this man, Tommy Walsh. Primary possession so important. And Walsh winning more than his fair share. Mark Miley from the St. Dominic's Club in Roscommon gets the game underway once more. Again, Tommy Walsh was in there, but James McKay read the flight of that ball perfectly. Poor pass though, and easily cut out. And Kerry have numbers, and always seems to be a defender coming at pace. This time it's the centre half back, Adrian Graney. Spots the run just on his shoulder of the centre forward, Daniel O'Shea. Back to another runner. They're queuing up. This is Paddy Curran. Curran kicking. Inch perfect inside the angle of post and crossbar and over the bar. He really is a free scoring forward, Paddy Curran. He's the joint top scorer in the country coming into this game in minor football. He's now out in front, out on his own, and that's his second point of the match. And Kerry lead by 2. These are anxious moments for Roscommon as Kerry seem to be settling into a rhythm. Mark Miley trying to keep that kick out away from Tommy Walsh, but he's hooked it out over the line. And possession back to the Munster champions. Shane Enright leaves it for Tommy Walsh. Tommy, who's the son of the Kerry County Board Chairman Sean. That ball delivered into the heart of the Roscommon defence, where Mark McLaughlin is standing his ground and doing his best to get that ball under control. Manages to play it away into space, but only as far as Gary Sayers, and Sayers was fouled, says the referee. There was a hand on his back as he tried to gather that ball. David Keenan, the guilty party. And Kerry have been handed another opportunity to stretch their lead. Paddy Curran, he can kick equally comfortably off left and right, and this time his left boot drops that ball over the bar. 3 points now between the teams, and 3 points too for Paddy Curran. And Kerry are beginning to ease themselves in front. This is a very big day for Roscommon and their footballers, and they're just taking a little longer than they would have liked to settle. Tommy Walsh again winning clean possession. Surely Roscommon will have to make a change in that sector. Again, he's looking for Paddy Curran there in front of Mark McLaughlin. Curran holding up the point of attack. Now Owen Kennedy spots a run inside. It's the centre forward Daniel O'Shea, just couldn't hold on to it though, and driving out with the ball comes Stephen Ormsby. Good defending by the cornerback. Ball moved quickly through the hands, and Roscommon break down along the left-hand side. This is their wing back, Peter Domican, trying to play in David O'Gara. He was pushed in the back and fouled. Free into Roscommon. But that was much better. Attacking in waves from defence, supporting the man with the ball and earning their free. Tomas Makanchir just trying to organise his defenders. Player who's come across to have a look at the angle is Donald Shine. His father Donny was a noted Roscommon footballer in his day, and certainly Donald has caught the eye this summer too. He struck this free well, effortlessly gliding it over the bar. Lovely connection, beautiful score, and just what Roscommon needed. It's a 2-point game. Well, the Roscommon supporters trying to get behind their team, trying to bridge a 55-year gap today. Tommy Walsh knocking that ball down to his own man. Had the presence of mind to spot a green and gold jersey. This is Daniel O'Shea, centre half forward, places club football with Currow. Quick delivery, in again, looking for that full forward line. And again, it's Paddy Curran. Curran took one look at the post. That's a wonderful kick. Marvellous score from Paddy Curran. Shooting on sight, accurately and clinically. And now Kerry are 3 in front again. It is very difficult for Roscommon to deal with that kind of accuracy. Paul Gleeson has moved across to take up the marking job on Paddy Curran. But it really is a difficult task when he's in that kind of form. Mark Miley trying to keep the ball away from Tommy Walsh, and up goes David Keenan. Good take by the man from St. Barry's. Stood up to the shoulder and feeds Donald Shine. Shine trying to spot a runner inside. Man who's making his way across, James McKay. But well robbed and stolen back there by Adrian Graney. Ball very close to the sideline. 9 seconds went out over the line. Possession back to Roscommon. Conor Devaney takes all of the frees and sideline balls from that right wing. He's going to drop it in towards the scoring zone. Up goes Kevin Higgins, but picked up and brought clear by Shane Enright. Moving it on and driving out of defence goes the midfielder Gary O'Driscoll. O'Driscoll has his jersey tugged and he's fouled. The referee Sil Doyle wants to have a quick word with Conor Devaney. He escapes with a warning and Kerry get the free. You and Kerry build up a head of steam out of their own defence. They're difficult to stop. This is Owen Kennedy, drops the shoulder. Lovely little jinx, still Kennedy. Beats a second man. Peter Domican just stuck to the ground and Kennedy kicking. And that's a lovely score from Owen Kennedy. He jinked and jived his way past a handful of Roscommon defenders. And his father, John, well, very pleased. Proud father, I'm sure, and a proud manager after that score. Just watch his feet, taking himself away from the defenders and chipping it over the bar. Kerry are now 4 points up and they're moving very sweetly indeed. Well, Roscommon really need to get a foothold and quickly. Mark Miley's kick out taken by David Moran. Superb catch. Tommy Walsh is there to support. Back to Adrian Graney. And now Walsh again. Always seems to have so much time on the ball. Dropping it in on top of Paddy Curran. Moving across was Paul Gleeson. Good defending by the corner back, but just lost possession on landing. Curran kicking around the corner, but easily taken by Mark Miley. And he gives it outside to Kevin Higgins. Roscommon just finding it difficult to clear their lines. One back by Kerry. Shane Enright, good ball. Spots the run. The kick, it's curling, dropping. That's a lovely kick from Gary Sayers. That's his first point of the match. Kerry lead by 5. And you have to say, it's all one-way traffic in the last 5 minutes in particular. Sayers kicking off that left boot. And Roscommon and their management team have seen enough. They're making a change. Niall Carty is coming in to replace the fullback Mark McLaughlin. Now the Roscommon full-back line has been under siege since this game started. An aerial bombardment of sorts, and in comes Niall Carty, very promising player who broke his jaw earlier this summer, and he's now in the All-Ireland final. Roscommon 5 points down, but can they manufacture a revival? This is their full forward, Fintan Craig. He has his pocket picked, and driving out with the ball comes Adrian Graney, the centre half back from St. Pat's. Player in support, Owen Kennedy, very elusive corner forward, inside to Tommy Walsh, driving that ball first time, but well read by Paul Gleeson. The defender from the Roscommon Gales club has settled into this game now. Outside to Peter Domican, down along that wing, the bounce beating his colleague though, not the corner back. Well read, but possession surrendered, and across comes David O'Gara. Referee said that David O'Gara touched that ball on the carpet, and Kerry have the free. Gary O'Driscoll, a quick 1-2, and now this is the wing forward John Buckley. Good defending though by Peter Domican. As common defenders, particularly that half back line, trying to press forward. Domican feeding it outside. This is much better. Kick though dropped short, and Tomas Maclancheer has time to feed it outfield, and now this is the wing back Shane Enright, and who plays his club football with Tarbert. A 1-2 and Enright again. Roscommon trying to filter back and create a primrose and blue wall, but the ball inside was more in hope than confidence. There was a foul, says Cyril Doyle, free to Roscommon, but again possession has been turned over. Roscommon surrendering possession far too cheaply. This is their corner back, Stephen Ormsby. Kick well blocked down, in bravely there went the centre back Adrian Graney. Roscommon just struggling to find that forward line with the final pass, and again it favours the defender, and Dahi O'Shea. Gary O'Driscoll, and the first time ball in towards Paddy Curran, moving across underneath it, but Paul Gleeson is beginning to get to the pitch of the game. He's reading those passes, and he's making life a little bit more uncomfortable for the Kerry captain. Well, there's another change being made, and Roscommon manager Fergal O'Donnell is bringing in Keith Waldron. Keith Waldron from the St. Aidan's club is going to replace Kevin Higgins. Kevin, the Roscommon midfielder, who was just finding it difficult to get his bearings. And now Roscommon have made 2 changes, and we played just 22 minutes. That's an accurate reflection of the position they now find themselves in. 5 points down in this game, very much in danger of running away from them. This is Conor Devaney. He switched wings in an effort to get on the ball. Kick half blocked down, but breaks fortuitously for Paul Garvey. Back outside, chance, an early chance for Keith Waldron. He's only been on the field 30 seconds, and he's kicked a point. That's what you call an impact substitution, and that's just what Roscommon needed. The hard work done by Paul Garvey, and the finish from Keith Waldron. Tommy Walsh going up with one hand this time. He's given an exhibition of fielding. Paddy Curran, again the intended target, tussling with Paul Gleeson. Gleeson does well. He really has managed to put the shackles, for the moment at least, on Paddy Curran. Now David Keenan. Roscommon playing with a little bit more purpose now. But this latest move sees the ball go out over the line. It last touched Colm Garvey. Line ball to Kerry. Adrian Graney from the St. Pat's club. A real no-nonsense style centre half back. He'll take the line ball, delivering it into the scoring zone. Again, a break picked up by David Keenan. Loose hand pass, a little bit of work for Peter Domican to do. Now Stephen Ormsby. And he tries to clear his lines and find a colleague at the same time, but Kerry again Always seems to be a man over in that middle third. Paddy Curran, the intended target, knocked it down to himself. This time he's away from Gleeson. Chance for Curran. Well, he snatched at that shot and drills it wide. But he is so hard to pin down. That time he managed to knock the ball into space for himself. He has electric pace, and he really will be disappointed that he didn't finish. Big booming kick out from Mark Miley. Again, Kerry win possession. This time it's Gary O'Driscoll from Skellig Rangers, but he hand passed it to an opponent. But just as quickly, Roscommon have turned the ball over. This is Gary Sayers trying to run his man. His marker is Stephen Ormsby. Sayers just holding up the point of attack. Spots the run inside of Paddy Curran. He has two defenders for company. Curran away from both. Still Paddy Curran. Wonderful run. And we've got a touch. It's gone out for a 45. Now, Paddy Curran, when he gets that ball under control, it is really difficult to stop. He has a lovely centre of balance and manages to keep his feet and earns a 45. Well, the play will be stopped as Roscommon have an injury to deal with. It hasn't been the best of starts to the All-Ireland Minor final for Roscommon. They're trailing by 4 points. They have had to make 2 substitutions, and now their left corner back, Stephen Ormsby from the St. Faulius club, is receiving attention on Taoiseach Bertie Ahern. I'm sure enjoying this All-Ireland Minor final. Certainly plenty of open football, plenty to keep the crowd interested, and Kerry, for the most part, in control, particularly around the middle of the field. There, Tommy Walsh is giving a masterclass in fielding. Well, Stephen Ormsby trots gingerly back to the corner. He's fit to resume. And the play will restart with a 45 that will be kicked by David Moore, a clubmate of Big Tommy Walsh at the Kerrans O'Rahilly's club, and a real strapping wing forward. Moore has kicked 11 points so far in the championship. Struck this 45 really well, and you can make that 12. It had yards to spare, and Kerry are now 5 points in front as we head into the final 2.5 minutes of normal time at the end of this first half. Roscommon really need to hit a little purple patch now before the half-time whistle, just to send them to the dressing rooms with a pep in their step and give them a grip on this game. Tommy Walsh again winning possession cleanly. He is doing as he pleases in the middle of the field now. First time ball in towards Owen Kennedy. He has Peter Domican with him. Domican and Kennedy tangling and tussling, and the referee says that the Kerry man fouled his opponent. Free to Roscommon and a free to Peter Domican, taken quickly. David O'Gara has come out from corner forward to try and get some possession. O'Gara, good run, space opening up in front of Donald Shine. Takes a toe tap, takes a look. Shine from way out the country. That's an inspirational score from Donald Shine. Just what Roscommon needed, and it comes from their top scorer in the championship. It's just his second point in the match, but he takes it really impressively. There will be at least 2 minutes of additional time at the end of this first half, and Roscommon have narrowed the margin to 4 points. This time the ball breaks in the middle of the field into the path of James McKay. Looking up, spots the runner inside. There are players streaming right and left. One of them is the full forward, Fintan Craig. Craig hasn't been on the ball all that much in this game. And that kick just tails across the face of goal and out to the left and wide. That's Roscommon's third wide of the match. But they're beginning to create a couple of chances. Tomas Maklanchir dropping it out of big Tommy Walsh, and again he rises all alone, but the hand pass was loose and won back by Roscommon. Driving upfield, this is Donald Shine continuing his run inside. If he needs him is David O'Gara. O'Gara took a little look, half blocked down, falls to the team captain David Flynn. Flynn surrounded, Flynn fouled, and Roscommon have a free. Now the Roscommon captain David Flynn from Clonmagale had seen enough, decided to press on and assist his colleagues in the forward line, and he's won a free that should help his team to reduce the margin even further. Donald Shine taking that customary short run up, drilling it over the bar, and all of a sudden Roscommon are within 3 points. This is the perfect end to the first half for the Connacht champions. They've been on the back foot for long spells, but now beginning to build up some momentum. Ball breaks. And the first man to react is a Kerry man, Daniel O'Shea. But his colleague Gary Sayers couldn't keep his feet. Goes out over the line. Possession back to Roscommon. Their supporters beginning to get behind them now. And the team beginning to play with far more conviction. Close to the sideline is Keith Waldron. He's won his free. Donald Shine goes short. Keith Waldron again. The substitute has been lively since being introduced. Spots a teammate in support. The teammate is Conor Devaney. Devaney strikes it beautifully. Another point for Roscommon, and the comeback is now well underway. Conor Devaney from Kilbride. Well, he's come across from the right wing to the left on a couple of occasions to try and prise open the Kerry defence, and that time it worked to perfection. That decides the referee, Sil Doyle, will be the last action of the first half. Roscommon go in with their tails up. It's half-time in the All-Ireland Minor Football Championship final, and Kerry lead Roscommon by 8 points to 6. Well, you're very welcome back to the second half of this ESB All-Ireland Minor Football Championship final. Kerry leading at half-time by 8 points to 6, and they will be playing in the second half from right to left, wearing of course their traditional green and gold. Roscommon in the predominantly primrose with a touch of blue. So can the Munster champions Kerry stay out in front, or will the Connacht champions Roscommon continue where they left off at the end of the first half and get right back into this game? This is Fintan Craig. Player who takes possession from him is Conor Devaney. Conor Devaney shooting from long range, but not judging the angles the way he would have liked. And that's another wide for Roscommon. Certainly Fergal O'Donnell's team finished the first half with a flourish. They kicked 4 points without reply, and they have got themselves right back in this match. Moss Maklanchir again looking for Tommy Walsh, bats it down to a teammate. Walsh is really directing operations in the middle of the field, but this latest Kerry attack broken up by Peter Domican, a wing back who loves to get forward. Players peeling away. One of them outside to his left is the wing back Colm Garvey. Popped inside to Fintan Craig. Now David Flynn. But it all got just a little bit too tight. Now James McCaig. Nearest player to him is the Kerry corner forward. This is Garvey again. Passing it towards his brother Paul. The Garvey brothers from Kilmore linking up. Might break for a scoring chance. But the kick lacked the accuracy and the power to trouble the umpires. And Peter Dominican trots back to the defence again. Well, it's been an entertaining All-Ireland minor football final. Kerry just shading matters, but we're a long, long way from home. No clean possession this time. Down to win the break goes David Moran. Donald Shine tracking back, but Moran ferrying possession downfield, waits for support. It comes in the shape of the wing back, Brian Costello. Ball breaks into Costello's path again, looking for Owen Kennedy, but Peter Dominican back defending, doing his primary job excellently and finding a teammate. Good ball. This is Keith Waldron. Scored a point just after coming off the bench during the first half. Also scored a very important point against Meath in the semi-final, and really is proving his worth again. The Kerry cornerback Brian Russell from Spa is being spoken to by Sil Doyle, and he's been yellow carded. He becomes the second player to be booked. Donald Shine takes the free for Roscommon quickly. Spotted the run. This is Fintan Craig standing and waiting patiently. Craig kicking from long range. That's an excellent score from Fintan Craig. It's his first point of the match, his 9th of the minor championship campaign, and all of a sudden we have a 1-point game. Kerry, after starting so well, have faded to the periphery of the match, and Roscommon have now kicked 5 points without reply. Well, whatever Fergal O'Donnell and his selectors Declan Hoare, Stephen Bohan and Mark O'Dowd said at half-time, it's certainly working. Their team look revitalised. David O'Gara, who's playing more and more of his football now out around the middle of the field. Donald Shine, lovely sidestep. The Kerry defenders just backing off, allowing Shine the chance to look at the posts, pick his spot and kick the equaliser. You just cannot afford to give a player of the calibre of Donald Shine that kind of room, and he punishes Kerry ruthlessly. He stepped away from the tackle, bided his time and split the posts with ease. They're level in the All-Ireland minor final, and Kerry are making a change. Patrick Curtin is being introduced, and the player who's withdrawn, Daniel O'Shea. John Kennedy and his selectors have seen enough. They feel it's time to freshen things up, and certainly it's very hard to argue with them. A free for Kerry and a chance for them to break Roscommon's stranglehold just for a moment. It's driven right down into the heart of the Roscommon defence, and Gary Sayers certainly looked to have his jersey tugged there. Referee feels it was the forward who was fouling Roscommon get the free, and away they go again. They have certainly found their second wind. This is their team captain, David Flynn, chipped forward invitingly in towards James McCaig, but well read back there by Michael Maloney. And the fullback from the Dr. Crokes club in Killarney takes the free himself. Now Tommy Walsh holding off Donald Shine. Two big strong men in opposition. Shine has now been moved into the middle of the field to try and run with Tommy Walsh, and he's done just that. And the Kerry player slices that kick into the hill and wide. Well, there are a number of intriguing subplots and individual battles going on as Kerry make a change. Another one, Stephen Brown is being introduced. The player who's been taken off is Brian Russell. He was booked just a couple of moments ago. And the fresh legs of Stephen Brown from Castle Gregory introduced into the Kerry defence. Broken ball picked up by Fintan Craig. He may be wearing number 14, but he's helping out his defence just now. Good ball, spots the run, splits the Kerry defence. This is David O'Gara trying to make an angle for himself. Kick just ballooning up in the air, but in there battling for it is Keith Waldron. Good defending though by Shane Enright. Very accomplished wing back. This is John Buckley. Buckley just waiting for the support to arrive. And now the pass delivered inside. Good ball to Paddy Curran, the man that makes this Kerry attack tick. Curran outside to Owen Kennedy. Spots the run inside of Gary Sayers, but the pass was just asking too much of the forward, and David Flynn doesn't take too much out of the ball. Prefers to let the ball do the work. Roscommon have numbers over. This is Conor Devaney. Players backpedaling, and Devaney hammers the ball over the bar, and Roscommon lead in this All-Ireland minor final. They took the lead with the opening score of the match. They fell behind early in the first half, but now they're back in front thanks to this score from Conor Devaney. Well, certainly the 5,000 odd Roscommon supporters that have travelled up from the west are now in full voice as they watch David Keenan barrelling through. He's been pulled to the ground and fouled, and the transformation in Roscommon, and indeed in Kerry for that matter, has been incredible. Kerry have gone completely out of the game, and they've just had David Moran booked for good measure. Donald Shine has been handed the responsibility of taking this free and chipping Roscommon into a 2-point lead. It looks relatively straightforward, and Shine makes no mistake. Practice makes perfect, and Donald Shine, who has spent hours and hours honing his free-taking skills in preparation for this match, the biggest of his life, kicks Roscommon into a 2-point lead. The battle between Shine and Tommy Walsh, an intriguing one. Good take by David Moran. Clean hands. Trying to thread the eye of a needle with the pass, and Paddy Curran is in there, Owen Kennedy is in there, but so too is David Keenan. He's just sitting in front of that full back line now, mopping up possession. Roscommon working much harder, and this time though the final ball is poor line ball to Kerry. Kerry most definitely need a score now to get themselves back into this match. Dangerous ball, asking questions. This is John Buckley. Can he get room to swing the boot inside? Player bottled up quickly was the Kerry substitute. That was Patrick Curtin, and that is textbook defending by Roscommon. Excellent defending. They were patient. They didn't concede the foul, and quite rightly that brought their supporters to their feet. "20 minutes of normal time left, and all of a sudden space opens up for Fintan Craig. Nobody tracking back. Craig has time and space to pick his spot, and he kicks it wide. He will be disappointed. Fintan Craig from Elphin was bearing down on goal, had all the time in the world, but he just couldn't finish. In to win the break comes and you're very welcome to Croke Park for the ESB All-Ireland Minor Football Championship final between Kerry and Roscommon. Kicking novel final pairing and kicking Roscommon into a 3-point lead. David O'Gara from Roscommon Gales has really found his groove, and Fergal O'Donnell must be pleased. He did everything right. His technique was perfect. And that's as good a score as you could hope to see. Kerry take the kick out quickly, and Tommy Walsh driving it in towards Paddy Curran. Chasing in there was Gary Sayers, but again, excellent defending by Stephen Ormsby. Gives it to Paul Gleeson. Referee Sil Doyle has blown his whistle. Free to Roscommon. But the referee also wants to speak to the Kerry man, and he ticks Gary Sayers. Paul Gleeson tight to the sideline, under a little bit of pressure from John Buckley. Buckley does well to keep that ball in play. Shoveled back. The runner is Adrian Graney. The kick, well, it's off target, dropping in dangerously, well taken inside. But again, Owen Kennedy just couldn't turn away. And Roscommon, who have now dropped more and more players behind the ball when they don't have possession, get that clearance downfield into the space. But good defending by Adrian Graney. David O'Gara trying to stay with him. Graney using his strength to find Tommy Walsh. Good ball. Switching the point of attack. David Moran out there on the right wing now. Forward in support is Gary O'Driscoll. David Flynn tracking back with him. The referee said there was a foul. Little jersey tug on Gary O'Driscoll. And Kerry have been awarded a free in. And this most certainly is a gilt-edged opportunity for Paddy Curran to stop the rot and to open Kerry's account in this second half. The third quarter has not gone well for Kerry, but their captain Paddy Curran has kicked their 9th point of the match. We have a 2-point game, and that will settle the nerves ever so slightly for the supporters from the Kingdom. Paul Gleeson is the player down and in need of some attention. Certainly after a very nervous opening quarter, Roscommon are beginning to play the kind of football that got them to this stage of the competition. A campaign that began for them on the 21st of June when they beat a very highly rated Galway side by 4 points. And really, since then, they have not looked back. All of a sudden, 3 months later, they find themselves in front in the All-Ireland minor final. Here are some seniors. It's the Kerry senior team. They're preparing for their big day. But just now, it's all about the minor footballers of Roscommon and Kerry as we swing into the final quarter hour. Mark Miley, Paul Gleeson is back on his feet again, and Miley gets the game underway. Tommy Walsh, normal service beginning to resume for Kerry around the middle of the field. But first to the break, a Roscommon man, Stephen Ormsby. Tight to the sideline, spotted David O'Gara. He is a player in support if he needs him. That's David Keenan. Keenan lets the ball run to Keith Waldron. Waldron bottled up under pressure. Well, he got his kick in, but he was surrounded. And that drops out to the left and wide. Interestingly, the last time Roscommon won the All-Ireland minor title back in 1951, the final was played here at Croke Park on the 16th of December. And afterwards, the Roscommon players celebrated by going for an ice cream. I'm sure the winners today will be doing something similar. Will it be Roscommon or will it be Kerry? At this point, it's the Connacht standard bearers that are 2 in front and enjoying the view. But Kerry far from finished. Tight to the sideline is Gary O'Driscoll. Held up. Needs support. Tries to hit that half forward line. Owen Kennedy there in front of Peter Domican. The defender making life difficult, but Kennedy does well. Puts on the afterburners to take him through. The pass finds its way to Patrick Curtin, and Curtin with a snapshot picks it up and over the bar. Well, Kerry had to work hard for that score. But the substitute Patrick Curtin from Moyvane eventually managed to swing it over the bar. Roscommon defenders working so hard and almost got the block. But we have a 1-point game. The margin is back to the minimum. Tommy Walsh, another clean take, and always seems to use possession wisely. Adrian Graney was the man on his shoulder. Perfect pass into the lap of Paddy Curran. That familiar bounce, that familiar kick, and that familiar finish. What a score from Paddy Curran. Paul Gleeson has done so much to limit the influence of the Kerry captain, but if he gets half a chance, half a yard, he can finish. We're level again at Croke Park. Well, it looks like this All-Ireland minor final is going to the wire. We will have that grandstand finish that everybody was hoping for. David Moran wins possession and now trying to feed Paddy Curran. Out comes Mark Miley, took a big hit, manages to ride the shoulder, lost his baseball cap, did not lose possession. And Roscommon, cool as a breeze, clear their lines. Colm Garvey to the runner. This is Peter Domican, the wing back, still full of running. He has options left and right. Spots a colleague, but the pass was well intercepted and expertly cut out. And soloing down the field goes Adrian Graney. This is Gary O'Driscoll. Donal Shine is the nearest Roscommon player to him. O'Driscoll shrugging aside the challenge. Players up in support. One of them is Curran, popped inside. Chance of a goal from the shot. Drilled low and out to the left and wide. Gary Sayers was the player in support. Patrick Curtin, the man who had the final shot. It was a good chance. Mark Miley had advanced to try and narrow the angle. Curtin went for the daisy cutter and almost kicked the game's first goal. Well, Roscommon and Mark Miley have not conceded a goal in this year's championship yet, and that record remains intact. Miley, though, picked up a knock in that last passage of play when this challenge came in from Paddy Curran. It was a good old-fashioned shoulder, but it's left the Roscommon goalkeeper a little bit the worse for wear. Well, I think Mark Miley may have picked up a shiner for his trouble, but it looks like he will be fit to continue. Man who plays his club football with St. Dominic's. As Roscommon make a change, they've introduced number 20, Alan O'Hara from St. Michael's, and the player who's been withdrawn, Paul Garvey, the corner forward. So the game very much in the melting pot now, and both Fergal O'Donnell and John Kennedy are rolling the dice. Kerry are bringing in number 19, Jamie Doolan. He will replace Gary Sayers in the inside line of Kerry's attack, and Jamie Doolan is a young man from the Dr. Crokes club who has already scored 2 goals and 2 points for Kerry this summer. Can he be the man who delivers the match-winning scores? 10 minutes and counting of normal time left in this year's All-Ireland minor football final. Tommy Walsh, he's going to go for the score himself. Huge kick, huge score, and that is an inspirational point from big Tommy Walsh. Kerry have been labouring for a long time in this match, but just when they needed somebody to take the game by the scruff of the neck, Walsh obliges. Kerry lead once more. Roscommon go short with a kick out to Donal Shine. Time is of the essence now for Roscommon. Good defending by Shane Enright. The pass though was loose, and Roscommon in quickly. Keith Waldron, quick hands to Conor Devaney. Can he tie the game up once more? Yes, he can. Conor Devaney is a really accurate forward, and once he gets a glimpse of the post, he knows exactly what he wants to do. Neat and tidy, and a crucial score. So we're level again with 8 minutes left. Level for the 4th time in the match. John Buckley, the Kerry wing forward, has received some attention. Moss Mocklancheer aiming for David Moran this time. Kerry just varying the kick out ever so slightly. This is Adrian Graney. Out from the corner comes Owen Kennedy. He's there in front of Paul Gleeson, just picking out a colleague inside. Good ball, quick hands. This is Paddy Curran trying to get room to swing that cultured left boot. He has judged it perfectly, and he's kicked another score. Well, Paddy Curran is a scoring machine, and that time the pass just gave him a little bit to do, but again he was in control of the situation, and he kicks Kerry into a 1-point lead. Well, if Kerry go on to win this game, they will thank their captain from Waterville, Paddy Curran. He has been outstanding. Kerry have won possession and driving forward. The attack though loses just a little bit of momentum as David Moran goes back to gather the ball. Sprayed out to this near side to Adrian Graney. Likes to use the ball at every opportunity. This is Patrick Curtin being held up and forced wide. David Moran again, but tackling ferociously is David Flynn. Roscommon captain leads by example, and he does really well to drive out with that ball. Now Fintan Craig under pressure wins his free. Well, certainly both of these teams are leaving nothing in the chase for victory. Fergal O'Donnell is bringing in number 21 Cian Smith, player who's being replaced number 11 James McCaig, and that means that Roscommon have now used 4 substitutes as Kerry have some defending to do. Mocked up, Adrian Graney under pressure manages to move it clear to the substitute Stephen Brown. This is a good run from Stephen Brown. He's crossed the halfway line, he's into opposition territory. Still Brown waiting for the cavalry to arrive. Patient build up to Tommy Walsh. Walsh though just lost his footing at the crucial moment, and Roscommon have won the ball back. This is Alan O'Hara dropping it in. Good ball, well taken inside by Keith Waldron. Back to Devaney. Devaney kicking on the run under a little bit of pressure, and he's kicked it wide. Well, both teams have had their chances to augment that scoreline, but Conor Devaney this time uncharacteristically kicking that ball well wide. Tommy Walsh, a man mountain at midfield for Kerry. He won possession, and now Kerry try and build from the back. Always seem to have a colleague available and waiting. This time it's Owen Kennedy trying to run 2 Roscommon players. He telegraphed the pass though, was asking too much of his colleague, and Roscommon will try and break. Players beginning to tire now. The minds are still very willing, but the flesh is growing weak. Roscommon have won a free. Conor Devaney was the player fouled, and Sil Doyle from Wexford wants to speak with Shane Enright. Kerry wing back has played well, but like a lot of the other players on the field at this point, he's beginning to tire. He fouled his man and he's been yellow carded. So a free into Roscommon, some 55 yards out, and it looks like Donal Shine is going to have a shot at the posts. This would be a huge kick. His team are 1 point behind in the All-Ireland final. They need Donal Shine to knock this one between the posts, and Shine obliges. Another clean contact, another beautiful kick, and that is Donal Shine's 6th point of this All-Ireland final. He's now kicked 19 in the championship, and he is certainly earning his keep. He's a real talent. So 2.5 minutes or thereabouts of normal time left, and will we have a winner? Kerry are making another change. They're bringing in number 24, William Devan, and the player who's been withdrawn, John Buckley. Kerry have now made 4 changes, the same as Roscommon, and they're level on the scoreboard. So little between these teams. The lead and the momentum has ebbed and flowed all afternoon, and now when they're within sight of the finishing post, they find themselves level. Free to Roscommon. Looked as if the Kerry man was too close to the kicker, but play on, says the referee. Possession is vital. Foul on Alan O'Hara. Free to Roscommon. They want to take it quickly. Fintan Craig comes out to ponder his options, telling his colleagues to get forward into the scoring zone. Good ball. Picks out the sub Keith Waldron. He's already got 1 point. He's been fouled. It's a free in, and this could be a really decisive moment. Roscommon supporters living on their nerves now. The man who's come forward and who has been entrusted with the kick is Conor Devaney. He's had an outstanding season for Roscommon. The teenager from Kilbride, a club that has produced its fair share of outstanding Roscommon forwards down through the years. As a Kerry player has picked up a blood injury and will have to leave the field. Looks like it's perhaps Stephen Brown, the substitute, who picked up that knock. As we watch Conor Devaney try to compose himself. This to kick Roscommon into the lead. They're out in front. 30 seconds of normal time left, and Roscommon are now on the brink of history. 3 times they've been All-Ireland minor champions. 1939, 1941 and 1951. Their last victory 55 years ago was over Armagh. Can they hang on and win the Tom Markham Cup for only the 4th time in their history? We're ticking towards injury time. Gary O'Driscoll, so strong, a purposeful run. Tommy Walsh, he's trying to wind up. Popped outside. This is a chance. The kick from long range from David Moran sails between the posts, and we're level again. What a finish to this All-Ireland final. Tommy Walsh, the son of Sean, spotting David Moran, the son of Ogie. And the finish was flawless. They're level for the 6th time, and all of a sudden Kerry are in front. The kick out from Mark Miley, kicked directly to Paddy Curran, and Curran has popped the ball over the bar. Incredible stuff at Croke Park. Mark Miley was rushing his kick out, trying to start a Roscommon attack. He succeeded only in kicking the ball to Kerry's top scorer, Paddy Curran, and the Kerry captain hammers his 8th point of the match over the bar, and Kerry lead by 1 point. A free to Roscommon. We will have at least 3 minutes of additional time. Here we can see again Mark Miley just rushing the kick out, and the right man in the right place at the right time for Kerry was Paddy Curran. Yellow card for Gary O'Driscoll. If Kerry go on to win this game by that point, Roscommon Well, they will be devastated, utterly devastated. Here's Donald Shine, dropping it in. Roscommon need a score, and they need it quickly. Kerry managed to clear their lines. Is there to be another twist in the tail? Dahi O'Shea under pressure, holding onto that ball for dear life. Two Roscommon men into challenge. Dahi O'Shea has been fouled, says the referee Sil Doyle. Free to Kerry. Well, this All-Ireland minor final has had more than its fair share of drama and intrigue. And is it set to turn cruelly for Roscommon on that misplaced kick-out that was gobbled up by Paddy Curran and driven over the bar? Well, the referee has awarded a free to Roscommon. Donald Shine will take it. It's well within his range, but this is a pressure kick. This to level the match. He's dropped it in. It breaks to David O'Gara. O'Gara turning, kicking. He's made it. David O'Gara has kicked Roscommon level 2.5 minutes into injury time, and surely we will have to come back for another day. None of these teams deserve to lose this match. They've given everything in pursuit of victory, and it's David O'Gara from Roscommon Gales that kicks the sides level for the 7th time, and referee Sil Doyle says enough is enough. What a game. What an All-Ireland minor football final. Roscommon and Kerry will not be separated, and they receive a well-deserved round of applause. The final scoreline in the ESB All-Ireland Minor Football Championship final: Kerry 15 points, Roscommon 15 points, a draw.
Managers of Kerry and Roscommon respectively, congratulations, because I know it's a cliche, but no team really deserved to lose today.
There's no doubt about it, Marty. It was a superb game of football, nerve-wracking in the line. With a few minutes to go, we were 2 points down. I thought we were gone. Then we were a point up and I thought we had it. What a marvellous score. I think a draw was a very fair result. Neither side deserved to lose today. It was a spectacle for Gaelic football, and we're delighted to have a second chance.
Some of the big names in that team, like Sean Walsh's son Tommy Walsh, Ogie's son out at number 12, your own son. I mean, there's a tradition there, and obviously you got a great start, but Roscommon, to their credit, came back to you.
We knew Roscommon had a good side. They did that in the semi-final against the fancied Meath. We knew it was going to be a battle down to the wire. That's the way it went. We had 24 heroes there today. We had 18 or 19 guys on the pitch. We couldn't have asked for more. Roscommon had the same. It's great to have a second bite of the cherry.
Stay with us, John Fergal. You're there, you survived, and you've really fought back magnificently after a bad start.
Poor start, a lot of nerves. Like, it's a big occasion, Roscommon. You know, we had not used to being up here, and lads played with great heart. You know, when we were 8-3 down, I was really worried. Near the end, like, you know, I suppose that we could have snatched it, but we could have lost it. I think a draw is a fair result. I think it's a good game of football, sporting game of football, and we're delighted to be still in it. And hopefully the next day will be as good for both teams, because a good game of football, that's what you need, and it's great occasion around here. It's unbelievable.
Well, considering, Fergal, you've been here since 1951, you weren't afraid of Kerry. You really showed great character.
We showed great character. Kerry have some great players there. They were dominating their key players early on. You know, we worked hard to try and counter it. Probably didn't counter it as well as we'd like, but in fairness, we have some good players ourselves, so it was touch and go all the way. It's great to have another day. Listen, if you told me with 30 seconds to go we'd have another day, I'd gladly take it. So,
well done to Roscommon, well done Fergal, well done Kerry, well done John. Thank you very much. Back to you, Michael.
Thanks, Marty. We all echo that, and indeed, if the senior match is as good as that minor game was over the last hour, then we'll be well entertained. There's no doubt about that. Now, at this point here in the programme, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, more on this afternoon's All-Ireland minor final, and we'll also, of course, start the build-up to Kerry and Mayo in the All-Ireland senior final. Back again to the programme. So then, the minor All-Ireland final between Roscommon and Kerry has ended in a very exciting draw, a 15 points piece, replaying I think in 2 weeks' time as far as I know, on that one. Colin O'Rourke, 10-1 you could have got on a draw for the senior match earlier on, and you know, it could work out that way. Could have 2 draws here.
Well, certainly the West's awake anyway in that performance by Roscommon. Like, they were heroic in the way that they fought back. 8-3 down, looking as if they were down and out. I think ran up 8 points in a row to go 3 up. But, you know, Kerry held ahead, got back to level. They didn't seem to have the urgency, like, to really go for it. But, you know, we had brilliant points there that last 10 minutes. David Moore, Paddy Curran, you know, Conor Devaney for Roscommon, and David O'Gara at the end. A really, really good game. Draw a fair enough result, even though I think the referee didn't go the full 3 minutes. But I wouldn't say anyone would complain.
Well, not at all, no, because as Marty said there when he was interviewing the 2 managers, you know, really wouldn't want to see anybody lose. We kind of mark down scores as you go along in these matches, and we were changing them every couple of minutes because it depended. This one could have won it, that one could have won it. Kerry got a point, and then another point that drew and then put them ahead.
Well, Kerry only showed real urgency. They were sort of strolling contemptuously through the game as though it was an inevitable outcome. And in the first half, that's the way they did play. And in fact, it was only when they went 3 points behind that they suddenly put a surge on. And, you know, you could see them galvanising and getting into the game. And really, the only times that Kerry played at the very top level was whenever they were coming from behind.
OK, Joe, well, here at Croke Park on All-Ireland